that's really stupid. Because believe me, the enemy doesn't want to be killed. You know, you hear so much, oh, they want to go with the virgins up to wherever they go, right? They don't. They want to live. They want to live. And they want to take care of their families, always their families. Remember that, because their families know what's going on, okay? You think their wives don't know what they're planning? You think their kids don't know exactly what daddy's doing when daddy's going to fly into the World Trade Center? You think they don't know? They still want to live. So here's Obama gives an exact date. He gives an exact date. So they pull back. And everyone says, oh, we're doing so well. Look, we're doing so well. The enemy, why should they fight when they know in 18 months they can go in and take the place? So what happens? So we have ISIS taking a lot of oil. I said, take the oil. Remember when we left? I was opposed to going in because I said you're going to destabilize the Middle East. Because you had Iraq and you had Iran. And I said, they fight. And they're always fighting. For decades and decades. For generations. They fight. That's what they do. They fight. How we ever got involved in this mess is hard to believe. They fight. And they were equal militarily. They go this way, 10 feet. They go this way, 10 feet. Then they rest. A couple of years. Then they start fighting again. Then Saddam Hussein throws a little gas. Everyone goes crazy. Always using gas. They go back, forth. It's the same. And they were stabilized. And I said, if you go after one or the other, in this case Iraq, you're going to destabilize the Middle East. That's what's going to happen. You're going to destabilize the Middle East. And that's exactly what happened. We totally destabilized the Middle East. We have now migrations, largely because of what's happened afterwards. You know, Iraq was horrible. It was stupid to go in. We should have never gone in. But we shouldn't have gone out the way we went out. And we shouldn't have given dates. I mean, I would have probably said, we're going to stay forever. And they would have said, oh, man. And then keep going, keep going. Eventually, they would get tired. They said, this guy's crazy. I mean, he's never going to leave. And you'll make a deal. But when you announce you're leaving in 18 months or whatever the hell he said, they just pulled back. And then as soon as we left, they come in. Okay? So they have the oil. You know who the biggest beneficiary of the oil is, right? China. China. Always China. I love China. I love Mexico. Their leaders are too smart for us. We have no border. We will build a wall. Mexico will pay for the wall, by the way. We're building a wall. We're going to have a border. And people are going to come into our country, but they're going to come in through a legal process. They're not coming in the way they're coming in now, just walking in like nothing. They're going to come in, but they're going to come through a legal process. So, with Iraq, so we give them a date, and they take over. We didn't take the oil. So for 4 years, I've been talking about it. Then because of Paris, all of a sudden they start bombing the oil. But I didn't want to just bomb the oil. I wanted to take the oil. They're bombing. You know, we're bombing. Great. What's going to happen after that? So we're bombing. And you know, we're not really bombing it because they're still selling it. I say, how can they keep selling? Obama doesn't want to hit them too hard because he's afraid he's going to pollute the atmosphere. No, this is serious. Now think of it. He talks about the carbon footprint. And yet he'll fly a very old Air Force One, an old Boeing 747 with the old engines and, you know, spewing stuff. So he's got a problem with the carbon footprint. You can't use hairspray because hairspray is going to affect the ozone. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see, I'm in my room in New York City and I want to put a little spray so that I can... Right? Right? But I hear where they don't want me to use hairspray. They want me to use the pump. Because the other one, which I really like better than going bing, bing, bing. And then it comes out in big globs, right? And you're stuck in your hair and you say, oh my God, I got to take a shower again. My hair's all screwed up. Right? I want to use hairspray. They say, don't use hairspray. It's bad for the ozone. So I'm sitting in this concealed apartment, this concealed unit. You know, I really do live in a very nice apartment, right? But it's sealed. It's beautiful. I don't think anything gets out. And I'm not supposed to be using hairspray. But think of it. So Obama's always talking about the global warming. That global warming is our biggest and most dangerous problem. Okay? No, think of it. I mean, even if you're a believer in global warming, ISIS is a big problem. Russia's a problem. China's a problem. We got a lot of problems. By the way, the maniac in North Korea is a problem. He actually has nuclear weapons, right? That's a problem. We got a lot of problems. We got a lot of problems. That's right. We don't win anymore. He said, we want to win. We don't win anymore. We're going to win a lot. If I get elected, we're going to win a lot. We're going to win so much. We're going to win a lot. We're going to win a lot. We're going to win so much you're all going to get sick and tired of winning. You're going to say, oh no, not again. I'm only kidding. You never get tired of winning, right? Never. But think of it. So Obama's talking about all of this with the global warming and that. A lot of it's a hoax. It's a hoax. I mean, it's a money-making industry, okay? It's a hoax. A lot of it. Look, I want clean air and I want clean water. That's my global. I want clean crystal water. And I want clean air. And we can do that. But we don't have to destroy our businesses. We don't have to destroy our... And by the way, China isn't abiding by anything. They're buying all of our coal. We can't use coal anymore, essentially. They're buying our coal and they're using it. Now, when you talk about the planet, it's so big out there. We're here, they're there. It's like they're our next door neighbor, right? In terms of the universe. Miss Universe, by the way, made a great deal when I sold it. Oh, did I get rich? That was a great deal. Oh. You know, they broke my choppers on that. They said, he talks about illegal immigration. We're not going to put him on television. First of all, the Univision's being sued like crazy. You wouldn't believe it. And NBC, I made a great deal with them, just like an amazing deal. Far more than I would have ever gotten. I mean, I made an unbelievable deal. Far more than I ever would have gotten if I said, I think I'm going to sell it if times were normal, right? Isn't it amazing the way that stuff can work out? But I love Miss Universe, and I love the universe. But think of it. So China is spewing up all this stuff, and we're holding back. And with China, you know, we signed these agreements where we have to do it now. They have to do it within 30 or 35 years. I don't think they're going to be doing it. It's like Japan. If somebody attacks Japan, we have to immediately go and start World War III. Okay? If we get attacked, Japan doesn't have to help us. Somehow that doesn't sound so fair. Right? Does that sound good? So South Korea, I order televisions. I order thousands of televisions a year. I order televisions because I have a lot of stuff and I like nice branded. They're all made in South Korea, most other than Sony. And Sony, in all fairness, has lost its way. But a lot of them, Samsung, all of them. I mean, they're all pretty much, all of them, right? I think just about. But I order thousands of televisions. They're all from South Korea. So we have 28,000 people on the border, separating South Korea from this maniac in North Korea. We get nothing. What did we get? Nothing. Why? They're making a fortune. It's an economic behemoth. A lot of you don't know. We protect Germany. Germany. Mercedes-Benz. How many people have a Mercedes-Benz? We protect Germany. It's an economic behemoth. We protect Saudi Arabia. They were during the good oil days. Now it's probably half, which is fine. But during the good oil, they were making $1 billion. Listen to this: $1 billion a day, and we protect them. Our military, but they pay us peanuts, not like nothing. And then if we want to move to another location, well, that's very expensive. If we do that, we want to charge us rent. I mean, look, we are run by people that are so bad. They're so out of their league. And I see it. I see it on the stage. You know, a lot of them are nice people. You know, a lot of people think I don't like these people. I do like them. But they don't have business sense. They don't have business ability. They don't have common sense. They're politicians. They're all talk. They're no action. When I say... Folks, when I say we're going to build a wall, most of them say, you can't build a wall. Well, build a wall. In China, 2,000 years ago, they built the Great Wall of China, which is bigger than any wall we're thinking about, okay? The Great Wall of China goes 18,000 miles. We have 2,000 miles, of which we really only need 1,000 miles, because you have a lot of natural barriers, right, that are extremely tough to get across. We have 1,000 miles. So China has 18,000 or 13,000 miles, and we have 1,000 miles. We have modern cranes. We have Caterpillar tractors. I want to use Caterpillar. I don't want to use Komatsu. Made in America. Even my hats, they're made in America. It wasn't easy to find a guy who could do those hats. You know what I'm talking about. I see so many knockoffs of my hat, right? Make America Great Again. I see these things, they're out of plastic. They're out of all sorts of crap. Mine are made in America. And honestly, they do a great job, but they don't produce as many as I'd like because, frankly, there's a big... I mean, it's amazing. Those hats are amazing. But I wanted to have it made. And you know why I wanted it? I wanted it anyway. But I also knew that as soon as the hats came out, and other things, we have a website. As soon as the hats came out, I knew the press would be calling. And it's true. First hour when the hats were announced, I get a call from the New York Times. Mr. Trump, Where are those hats made? I said, America. I knew it. Because, as you know, if I would have said China, I would have been in big, big trouble. But they're being knocked off all over the world. I mean, I see hats, they're like helmets. I see them all. But what are you going to do? But here's the story. We got to build a wall. So when I talk and when I'm up on the stage with these guys, these people, wonderful people, and a very nice woman, Carly. She's a nice woman. When I'm up on the stage with them, they think I'm crazy when I say Mexico. Because I always say, we're going to build a wall. It's going to be a great wall. It's going to be a real wall. See the ceiling? The ceiling is peanuts compared to the height of the wall I'm talking about. I'm talking about if they ever get up there, they're not coming down because it's too dangerous. All right? You ever see what they do now that we have these little walls? They build ramps. There was a picture in Time magazine. It's a ramp. A little ramp. It goes over the wall and down. So they have a Jeep. Over, down, boom. Make money. We get the drugs. Think of it. We build a wall is right. You got to build a wall. We get the drugs. They get the cash. Not so good, right? We don't like that deal. Our politicians don't know. They don't know. So when I say Mexico's going to pay for it, these guys on the stage with me, they're not business people. They don't understand. Mexico makes a fortune off the United States. Number one, we give them a lot of money. But in addition to that, they're taking our businesses. They're making, if you talk about a trade deficit, I'll tell you what, Mexico in a certain way is, in a mini version, the new China. Mexico is making an absolute fortune. Peanuts compared to the cost of the wall. Let's say the cost of the wall is $10 billion. That's I can do a great job for 10. I think we'll have a lot of money left over. Somebody else would have. And by the way, 20 years ago, they wanted to build a wall. People that are opposed to it now, they wanted to stop and they wanted to build a wall. You know one of the reasons they didn't build the wall? Because of the Environmental Protection Agency. They couldn't get an environmental impact study approved. Can you believe it? Because there was a toad or a turtle or a snake or something was in the way. Now think of it. In China, in the South China Sea, there were these low-level land masses that were covered by water, but pretty close to the top. China sends in massive excavators, and they're going, they're building military fortresses in the South China Sea. And a friend of mine who's one of the biggest and richest people in China, he's a great guy. They're great people. They're fine. They're just too smart. I mean, the leaders are too smart for our people. They won't be too smart. When I put my people there, it won't be different. When they call up, we'd like to speak to the donor that is negotiating it. No. The donor now is Carl Icahn. You're going to speak to Carl Icahn. You know Carl, great businessman. You have so many people. They call, all these business people call. So, a friend of mine, so I call him, I say, you're actually doing that. And then jokingly, I said, how long did it take to get started? Did you have to get an environmental impact study approved in order to excavate? He looked at me because I hope you're kidding when you say that. They conceived of the idea. They started digging 4 hours later. Okay? There's no, go through 25 years of environmental impact. You're going to hurt the snail. You're going to hurt this. They're doing a big thing. They excavated massive, take a look, massive, the biggest excavator. They're ripping the hell out of that ocean. They're ripping it, and they're taking that dirt, and they're putting it, and they're building airfields, and they're building forts. We couldn't do it because, just like I said for the wall, legitimately, they couldn't get an environmental impact statement. Now, that's probably not the only reason it didn't happen. I heard their costs were too high. With me, that's easy. I'm doing the old post office in Washington. I'm under budget. I'm ahead of schedule. Hey, look at the campaign. Guy's at 59 million, and he's down at the bottom. I'm nothing, and I'm at the top. It's the same thing. I actually said, it's funny, the other day I got this great review. They said, Trump is a great speaker. The crowd is spellbound. But he has one problem. And I'm reading, I want to see. The problem is, he speaks through the applause. In other words, like I say that, you applaud, I start talking before you finish your applause. And you know why? Because I'm so excited, because we have so much potential. It's true. I don't want to wait for your frickin' applause. We have so much potential. There's so many things to do. I don't really sort of want to wait. I want to do it. And I just noticed, I did it again. You were getting ready to give a big applause because you like that. And I'm speaking. I kill the applause. But he's right. He's right. But except I'm not a speaker. What I am is a doer. I get things done. I get things done. So when the people up on the stage with me, and Hillary doesn't have a clue. By the way, you talk about low energy. She has lower energy than Jeb Bush, which is hard to believe. She does. And I'll tell you, and I've been saying it, and maybe it's rude, maybe it's not, but it doesn't matter. We have a much bigger problem. We have to save our country. So if I'm rude, and if people think I'm rude, I'm actually a nice person. I have a big heart. I want to help people. I want to help the migration. I want to do a safe zone in Syria. I don't want them coming here. We don't know who these people are. They're undocumented. And we should do a safe zone over there. We should have the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, these states are not spending. They got to spend. They got to pay. You know, we're protecting them. They wouldn't be there in that country. And she was the person of the year, and I wasn't. Everybody said Trump was supposed to. Hey, what are you going to do? I think she's made a terrible mistake. We'll find out. Time will tell. They're having tremendous crime problems. I think she's made a terrible mistake. But what I like is in Syria, with other people's money, meaning the Gulf states and others, and Germany and others, because look, Germany's paying a fortune to accept all these people. They'll give us the money. We do a massive safe zone. And then eventually when this whole catastrophe straightens out, which I'll probably be able to get it straightened out, I understand that stuff, but when it's straightened out, they can go back home to their country, you know, to their area. It's interesting. I have thousands of people that work for me, thousands. And I have people that come from far. They're all here legally. Don't worry about it. I use E-Verify and less. But I have people. Oh, they go and check. These guys go check. They went into the old post office checking. Everybody walked out. Are you here legally? Are you here legally? They said they found one person out of hundreds and hundreds. I don't believe it, okay? I don't believe it. But you know, it's possible somebody said, hey, we do have 11 million people in the country, and it's probably a much higher number than that, okay? It's probably a much higher number. But we have to do something about it, and we're going to do. So I just want to finish by saying this. Look, we have a situation that's out of control. Our country is a dumping ground for the rest of the world. We're laughed at by the rest of the world. And when I started this journey, and it's a journey, and I do love you people. You're amazing people. And by the way, you're so smart. You know, a lot of times they'll say, well, Mr. Trump's people are blue collar. I love blue collar. I'm honored by that. But they're not blue collar. I mean, we have blue collar, and we have executives, and we have young people. They said, the audience is old. It's not older. The audience is young. The other night in Iowa, I told that, and I said, we have so many young people. The place erupted. They're all young people. We have an amazing thing happening. It's just, look, that's their way of marginalizing, not even me, it's marginalizing you. It's disgusting. I mean, it's disgusting. But when I started this journey, and that's what it is, it's a journey, and it's a movement that's taking place. It's a movement. Remember the old days, silent majority? It's not right. It's a noisy majority. People are angry. It's a noisy majority. These aren't silent people anymore. I go to people you can't even hear. This is an amazing thing that's happened. I received a call from one of the biggest reporters, who happens to be liberal, but that's okay. I mean, we can have a couple of them, right? But a guy who's really respected recently, and he said, how does it feel? I said, how does what feel? He said, what you have done has never been done in the history of politics in the United States. I mean, even CNN said number one political story of the year is Trump. You know what number two was? ISIS. ISIS was two. I'd rather reverse it. Let ISIS be one, let me be two, because I want to knock the hell out of them and make me number one next year.